Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this NXT review and opinions video. We don't normally do NXT, but I am looking to do it each week because we do the watch-alongs and we're very passionate about NXT, so it makes sense to do opinions on NXT. Obviously, we did it last week with the ECW theme show, and so we'll do it this week as well. I do think this was a big step down from the ECW show. That's no great surprise, of course. And one of the big things I would point out here is that it didn't really feel like much carried over from previous weeks. Certainly not when you look at the matches. I know there was like the Ridge Holland Andre Chase segment. I know that we had Kelani against Fallon. Kelani trying to get her title back. But really, outside of those things, there wasn't really loads that felt like it carried over. Ava was dealing with like the tag division, and it feels like the tag division brawling at the end is showing us where we're going. Like, it seems like the tag division were kind of kicking up the dust because it had gone a bit flat. So that kind of felt new this week. Then, of course, there was a lot of Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying matches. A lot of those matches didn't have any history to them, so they felt new this week. Opening match was Stephanie and Giulia against Jakara and Lash. There's no history there. So, I mean, that was probably the best match. All the other matches didn't feel like they reached that level, to be honest. And that was our opening match. So, really, everything else after that kind of didn't get to the same heights. So, that was a bit underwhelming. I don't think this is a bad show. I think that there's stuff you can take all throughout the 2 hours. So, I'm not saying it's a bad show, but I don't think this is a show that I would ever look to go back to. I don't think this is one of the best NXTs of the year. In fact, I would argue it's kind of down amongst the worst. For me, I'm probably about 5.5 to 6. There's been way, way, way better NXTs than this. I think it is a step down from last week's ECW show. I think we are building towards Deadline. You're going to get these shows. You know, you can't have like banger, 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 banger. Sometimes you do need these shows, which are a lot of qualifying matches, a lot of matches that don't really have much heat to them. But yeah, let's go down the match scores. So Stephanie and Giulia against Jakara Lash. I enjoyed it. Thought it was a good match. You lot scored it good. 100%. Didn't quite get into that great range, but you scored it good. Sol Ruca against Cora Jades. Yeah, I didn't think this was like much of a step down. Neither did you. You scored it good 97%. Cedric against Wes, again, didn't feel like it was much of a step down. Some really good moments in this. You lot scored it good 96%. So quite close, these ones. None of them quite getting into that great range, but all really, really close. Nikita against Riz. You lot were really generous here. You said it was good 95%. I thought it was a bit lower than that, to be honest. Javon against Lexis. Picked us back up to good 97%. Fallon against Kelani. Good 99%. So I think the problem was that being our main event, we knew that the title wouldn't change hands. So that was a bit predictable. Iron Survivor matches were all right. Nothing getting into that great range. Opening match, probably the best match. Everything else just not too far behind, in all fairness. I don't want to be harsh on NXT. It was not too far behind. But, like, Andre Chase being put in, like, the title picture. And now, like, you know, he's putting Chase U up on the line. Like, some of that just left me scratching my head a little bit. Just like when we announced, was it Nick? That dude's name, and everyone went, who the hell's that? When Sean Spears got in that car and the driver turned around and everyone was like, who's this? So there was some like really strange moments, I thought. But yeah, I'm probably feeling 5.5 to 6. I mean, I really was not giddy about this episode. But let's see what you lot thought, shall we? Jang Tae Sang said it was a pretty good show. Matches were good. I really wanted to see Cora win, but Sol deserved it. It's going to be exciting next week with Andre versus Ridge. I thought Ridge would win, but now with Chase U on the line, I really don't know. Overall, 8.5 Yeet. Brady said the women tonight were great, except Nikita. Cora and Sol were fire. Kelani and Fallon was amazing. Sad that there was no Tatum Paxley tonight. Brandon said, pretty good. I like the Evans-King match a lot. King's character progression is something I'm enjoying. The Iron Survivor matches were great. Riz and Nikita's match was Lyons isn't the hype she has ever been given, even before the injuries. Chase U is breaking up, I believe. 7.5. Wrestling fan since day one said NXT was awesome. It was a 7. It was way better than Raw. Good night. Good night. Watson said 4 women's matches tonight. We don't even get that many in a full month on Raw. Real Wrestling fan said at least it wasn't taped. That's true. That's true. I can't stay away from spoilers. Sorry, Daze. I will calm down and say it was a solid 6. OTC said 7.5. Chris said hello, Daze. Hello, Chris. Very fun watch again. Really enjoyed some good segments. Excellent ring work. Opening tag match. Young OG. Stealing the show. All good. Giving it a 7. Haven't thought of this since Black and Gold. If I could only watch one show a week, NXT is it. What show would you watch? I find NXT to be a bit inconsistent, to be honest, in the sense of sometimes it can be the best show of the week, sometimes it can be the worst. I don't think it was the worst this week. I would say I agree. It was better than Raw this week. I agree. So if Raw was 5.5, I'm going to say 5.75. Maybe I could get to 6. Don't know, but that's kind of where I am. Better than Raw. I don't know. I don't know. That's tricky. I kind of feel like right now I might have to go SmackDown because of Bloodline. Might have to go with that, but SmackDown's been quite poor since WrestleMania, really. Raw has been poor since it went 2 hours. NXT has had not a bad period since it went to the CW network. So I think actually NXT has had a good run. I just don't think this week was it for me. So I don't know. It's really hard to answer because I kind of feel like back in the day you could just say a brand. Whereas this year I genuinely have felt that each show has had their moments during the year. Like I've got no doubt Raw is going to cook when it goes to Netflix. I think we can all agree that when it goes to Netflix, that is going to be the show that you're going to want to watch. So like, I feel like Raw's about to have a major revival. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of constantly changing. Carl said it was decent, not the best show, but not bad. It still was much better than Raw. Sad there was no Rocks. Stephanie and Giulia once again the highlights. All the women's matches were decent, but the men's were... Samito said it was a bit less amped than last week, but that's what was expected. Still love NXT. Soul is the bomb. So are Giulia and Steph. Iron Survivor is exciting in both divisions. Chase U might be breaking up soon, and the tag division has found new life now. But I hope that Andre beats Holland. I said it, said Samito. David said, wasn't that good. Ramboli gave it an 8. Nishi said, I love the show. Love Wes Lee's match with the veteran Cedric. Loved Evans versus King and the restaurant segment with Tony and Sean Spears. Main event was fast-paced, but it had the right result. And above all, I loved how Ridge has grown to be a top heel. He is awesome, said Nishi. Brendan, just Nikita Lyons is making him melt. Bat Family said, I scored NXT 8 out of 10. Efren said, no, Roxanne Perez. John Elite said Sean Spears versus Tony D for the North American title. No clue who the driver was. Loved the recap of NXT last week. Qualifiers for the Iron Survivor was okay. Don't want Chase U to break up. And a chaotic ending to NXT tonight. Alfie said it was a good show. Nothing really made me go, this is awesome. But nothing made me hate it either. So it was good. But it wasn't great. WWE never really does anything great in November, December. It just feels like let's make it to the Rumble now. I expected it to be mid. So not disappointed. 6-2-5, says Alfie. And Jerry said NXT was rubbish, like it is most weeks. I want to see NXT go back to black and gold when it was 1 hour on the network. I want to see WWE sign recognized wrestlers, not some nobodies that no one knows. And that's why I'm not liking NXT. That's a really interesting comment, because I do agree with you. In regards to why we're not where NXT was. We were bringing in the best indie talent when NXT was going through black and gold, and we don't do that now, except we might be about to do that now with WWE ID. So WWE ID, these people that were signing from the indies, this talent that is so promising. It might not be like people that have killed it in New Japan, people that have killed it in TNA or whatever, but those people will arrive. I'm pretty sure we'll get Jordan Grace. I could see her being signed. I think our relationship with TNA increases the chances of us signing certain people from TNA. But yeah, we're going to the indies. WWE ID, I think, is going to make NXT a stronger promotion. So I can understand your frustrations, and I can understand that we are not where we were when it was black and gold, but I think WWE ID fills me with quite a bit of excitement for the future. Jade Kickter Watson said, what if one title was to change hands? What do you mean in NXT, if one title was to change hands? I personally would like for that to be the tag titles, because I think Fraxium have had them for a while, and I'm pretty much over Fraxium teasing that they're going to split. I'd much rather do it. Let's get going with Nathan Frazier as a single star, and let's get those belts onto a new tag team where we can, like, you know, give them some spotlight. Trick Williams has only just got his belt back, so I'm not really looking to move that around. Roxanne, I think she's got lots of challengers, and we can change that, but I'm in no rush. She's doing a great job. You know, Tony's just got the mid-card title. Fallon's just got her mid-card title. So for me, if I was to change one, it would be the tag titles. And there we go. So if we go over to, that was all the comments. If we go up, it seems like you lot enjoyed it more than me. I would be probably about here, I would imagine. But you lot are much higher. So you lot are scoring this as a great show. At the moment, this is coming out as great 79%. Obviously, we've still got many more votes to come in. We can actually just have a little catch-up with yesterday's Raw. 357 votes there. You can see that that is coming out as good. I do agree this is a better show than yesterday's Raw. I completely agree. But I don't know that it's that drastically better. I don't know that it's we went from that to that. I'm not sure I feel that, but that's what you lot are feeling at the moment, and that's what the community is saying. So brilliant. Appreciate the feedback. It was good to obviously see that NXT Performance Center crowd. They brought some energy. They deserve some flowers, and you know, things are getting set up for Deadline. So we've made some progress as well. Don't forget, we will be back on Friday with our SmackDown breakdown. We'll probably do a little video where we'll talk about who should be the first United States Women's Champion. It would be good to get the community's thoughts on that. I think it was Bryn again that requested that, and a few people have asked about it as well. So I think we can definitely do that video over the next couple of days. But there we go. Those were the thoughts on this week's NXT, and on we move. Thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate the support. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.